4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
What's up, guys? I fix shit in your face. Daniel. Don't forget to subscribe. Smash the like button. I help a lot of people. That's your way of helping me back. It's just kind of hitting the like button, giving me a little help, And check out some of my merchandise. Consider joining my membership program. You guys get all the perks ahead of time. It's kind of nice. Plus, you get to ask your questions immediately, and I normally respond pretty fast. So check that out. Today, I want to go over this topic because I run into this a lot with bikes, and especially older electrical systems on motorcycles. What happens is as these machines age, unfortunately the electrical system also ages with the bike. And this doesn't have to be just older bikes. This can happen in newer bikes too. But normally as these machines age, unfortunately, resistance starts getting created in wires. And if you start ending up with burned connectors, melted connectors, things like that, this is normally signs of resistance. And resistance creates heat. So if it's stator rectifier and you have burned connectors, most likely if it's on stator side where it connects down and goes to the stator, that would be oil getting into the wiring down below, causing resistance, burns out at the nearest failure point, which would be the connector. If it's on rectifier side, it is normally bad connectors. The connectors themselves are actually starting to go bad, and normally you have to snip those off, completely do away with the connector, get some audio clips, and I'll show you what audio clips look like because I have a little video I want to run for you guys so you can see what a burn connector looks like, how to resolve it really quickly, and how to test to make sure that it is still doing what it should do without creating extra heat, because resistance equals heat. It's basically what happens with electrical wiring. Resistance equals heat. So if you're running into these problems, check this out. This will be an easy way for you guys to see how to solve these problems. If your connectors are burning out, then you need to check for heat and cut them, put new connections on there, crimp them, plug them in direct, and test. That's how easy this is. Not much to it. So check out this video, and I hope this helps you guys. If you have any further questions, drop the comments below, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. Toodles. Tools needed for this job: you're going to need some electrical pliers and a crimper. These are pretty good, however the crimpers on these are not very good, so I ended up having to use a secondary pair. I was using 16 to 14 gauge, so that's what I was crimping with. And then in my case, I buy large packs of different sizes, but in his case he needed something very specific, so it was 16 to 14 gauge to actually do it on his bike. But if you're going to be doing it on a bike or multiple bikes, probably better just to have an assortment of them, all different size gauge wire. That way it simplifies your life. So that's all you're going to need. These are basically, I call them audio connectors. These say fully insulated female disconnects. However, I have always known these to be audio connectors because they're the same connectors that plug into speakers, basically. It's like speaker connections. You just plug them right onto the speakers. So, well, that's not good. That's not good, for sure. That's no bueno. No bueno. Smoke that rectifier. Yee! Oh, jeez. Okay, wired in new connectors here to a new rectifier. Got the voltage meter on there. Let's crank this thing up now and see if it's gonna take a charge with that. And I want to hold these wires and see how hot these are getting, because if I'm getting a bunch of back feed on those wires and they become really hard to touch, then I know that the stator needs to be changed. So let's prime this a couple times. Alright, see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't catch on fire. It's charging. That's a good sign. No hot wires yet. The unit's getting a little warm. I can tell it's doing its job. The wires are still touchable. Well, Still charging perfectly fine. So we'll let this run for a minute. And that tells me this rectifier was the problem. Cheap rectifier, just failed, melted, caused the bike to just crap out. That's unfortunate. Check our charging system here, still looking good. Have a feel on this, still good. Barely getting warm, that's a good sign. I can still touch these wires, all of them. Okay, that answers my question. We had cheap Chinese rectifier failure that almost caught on fire. So, but this one seems to be doing really, really well. None of these wires are getting hot yet. I can still touch this unit. It's a little warm, but it's not hot. So, charging at 14.38 to 14.4. Looks good to me. I'll pick all those connectors up here in a second. So I'm gonna let this run for a bit here, just idle. Sounds healthy. Let's see if it's voltage spiking. Nope, it's doing exactly what it should do. Feel this? Warm. I can touch these wires without issue. Alright, I think we're good to go. Everything's doing exactly what it should do. And that's how you wire in a rectifier if the connector takes a crap on you. I don't know what I did with the connector. I threw it down. So there you go. That is resistance. Whenever you get resistance, you end up with melted connectors. So I think resistance probably started it, the problem, because these connectors were just crappy and probably had some corrosion on them. It caused this to work harder than it should have, which burned it out. So far so good. These wires are not getting too hot. This unit seems to be doing its job. I'm going to monitor the temp on this.